guys. Paul, Rob, good to see you guys.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, it's the last time I saw you, we were at the Kennedy Space Center looking at the MLP. How you been?
Oh man, so good, so good. Wasn't that an amazing trip? Oh my.
Yeah, it was great.
It's still mind blowing. What we, the whole sequence of it. Discovering it. People emailing us, you bring it to my attention. And Paul, you really spearheaded this by just diving in and talking, going right to the top at NASA and telling them what we're doing. And hats off to you, Paul, for starting this. And man, it really couldn't have happened without the both of you guys really applying yourself on this. But man, that was spectacular. What an incredible trip. Getting out of the car and seeing the mobile launch platform right in front of our very eyes, pretty special.
Yeah, it really was. I still can't believe we even pulled that off. I had no idea where to start. Literally, I had no idea where to start. It's NASA. I'm just a nobody. And just started kicking off emails, and one stuck, and it just we just kept rolling with it. And before long, I think in 2 days we'd got straight to basically the leadership of KSC, and within, I think, 4 days we got straight to the contractor. And man, I just can't believe we pulled that one off.
Well, what was nice was hearing from NASA and congratulating us on such a cool and unique and creative idea to preserve the mobile launch platform form. So it was nice to really have their backing for them to be 100% behind what we're trying to do. And, it's sad to see stuff like this, being retired and even further to be demolished. And only that we read it in textbooks at that point. And so I think that's special to be able to come up with that MLP plane tag, that you can actually hold a piece of this history and knowing everything that this piece of metal stood for, and just incredible.
Yeah. And I think that's what's going to be most special about this piece is it's going to feel like a chunk of history because it's so substantial, and knowing that something so substantial had such a huge effect on the history of space travel and technology and all the knowledge that we have now. That right. Really is what's going to be most special about this piece.
Right. Well, what was amazing is when we got there and the size of the mobile launch platform, right? You see it over and over again with every launch of the space shuttle. And when we get there and seeing just how huge it is, and the thickness of the steel and walking into that and the smell and just, man, it was just incredible. But really the question was, where do we start? What do we look for, and what are we trying to bring to market? And I think that was the biggest question we had, but I think it was a no-brainer. We walked up on the top platform and we saw the towers, and that was it. I mean, we knew that's exactly what we wanted to work with.
Seeing the towers in person was great, man. Just walking up on the top of the deck and you see the towers sitting there, and those, picturing a shuttle launch, those are the very last things you see as that shuttle lifts off, because the smoke engulfs the launch pad. So yeah. you got to know that those towers are the only things that.
Well, you're right, and we got to call them what they are: the tail service mast, the TSMs. Correct. And I mean, it's spectacular, the size of them, and being able to have a chance to talk to the contractor to see if they could cut off the TSMs for us and handle them at that point. And I mean, we're talking 1/2-inch thick steel. This was no airplane that we normally cut up, so it was a lot of questions about how we handle it, how we ship it. But so far we've been pulling it off pretty magically here.
The irony in all that is, if you remember when we pulled up, we were so late after trying to get into everything, and we showed up and they were in the middle of that meeting trying to figure out exactly how to get the TSMs down.
Right.
And it's kind of ironic. They're up there standing, all walking around the TSMs, and we're down there waiting for them. And I think that was part of it. We're watching them walk around it, and immediately it was like, oh, well, it's got to be the TSMs, as they're trying to figure out how to take them down. And to go walk up into them and imagine everything, all the chaos that's going on throughout a launch, when that when that fuel umbilical is separating and sucking into that, I just can't even imagine how just incredible it would have been to be in there.
It was kind of a real surreal moment walking into those, but we knew we had to have the TSMs. Unbelievable. The contractor really went out of their way to make sure that's exactly what they cut off for us. And the difficult part was, I mean, you guys got to fly home. I mean, we actually literally had to go into action on figuring out how to get them down and cut up enough that we can actually ship them to the Mojave Desert. And since we saw you, we received them a couple of weeks ago, and we've been working fast and furious on really the next steps of trying to bring something like this to market. Now, mind you, again, we're dealing normally with old aircraft and decommissioned airplanes, and here we're dealing with extremely lightweight aluminum to now 1/2-inch rocket blasted steel, and just the packaging is a hurdle, because we're usually using the paper backing, and also now we realize that's not going to work. So to support and to make the presentation for the MLP plane tag, we had to completely go to a different route. And we came up with a beautiful 1/8-inch aluminum backing. And, we realized you can't use this as a luggage tag. So, what we did is we created an aluminum backing with really nice, pretty graphics in it, but we got an earth magnet. And we stuck that earth magnet right on the packaging, and it just adheres right to it. So it really is a beautiful presentation, and I hope everyone's happy with it. And I think really what's just mind-boggling is really what you're holding. I mean, it just, it really opens up a whole nother market really for us. I mean, that space market is a lot different than the aviation history that we've been chasing. So it's going to be interesting to see how people's take on it.
It's great you guys are involved, because you guys are all about preserving history within the aviation world. And you look at something like the mobile launch platform that launched all the maiden voyages of the initial shuttles minus the Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. And then it also launched the shuttle Challenger on that fateful day that she exploded over the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. So I mean, this mobile launch platform has so much history behind it. It's amazing and it's surreal at the same time.
Yeah, it really is. It's almost borderline sacred, as crazy as that is. But there's really no words. I mean, there's only so much you can say about how incredible this piece is and how lucky we are. I mean, if you think in the course of history, how many people actually touched a TSM, and now to own it and to hold it is that's a privilege, and there's really no other way to put it.
Wow. You start talking about the Challenger, and it seems like everyone who was living at that point can tell you what they know exactly where they were at that moment, hearing when the Challenger blew up. And you just bringing it up made me take a step back, realizing how important and historical this piece or the whole tag collection of this is. I mean, it's almost unexplainable what we're working with. Hey, you guys want to see a sneak peek at it? I got a working prototype.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. Yeah.
The MLP plane tag. Now get this. All right. Wow. So the graphics on the tag itself, we had to use a whole different laser technique on it because the fiber laser would not touch the steel. But this is what I'm talking about. We put a little earth magnet on it. Get it? Earth magnet. And boom, clicks right on there. So this is the first working prototype. It's going to go well with the rest of the plane tag collection. And again, I'm not sure if it's really, a luggage tag material. It's more of maybe like a paperweight for your office. or however you want to present it. It'd probably hurt like hell if you threw it at somebody.
Yeah, I know it would. Yeah.
Guys,
one of the things that I love about that design, Dave, on the card is the fact that the TSM is red to specifically show this is where this came from, because it could have come from the shuttle or anywhere in the MLP, but it specifically shows this is the TSM.
And look, I don't want to mislead anyone. We posted a couple sneak peeks on social media, and immediately people start thinking that we had the space shuttle. And hey, look, we don't have the space shuttle. Those are all museums, but this is really the next best thing. So we're very proud of it. And guys, I can't thank you enough for everything you guys have done to help us walk into this. And I hope this is the first project of many more that we get to work together, because it's a pretty big world out there. And there's, as you know, there's a lot of aviation history and space history that we can continue to tag.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, listen.
Yeah, this is a special one.
I look forward to you guys coming down to the new shop. I got a whole brand new showroom. I can't wait to show you. We're going to have a new retail room. And so we're going to be opening our doors to the general public here in a couple of weeks. And I want you guys to have the first sneak peek at it. So I'll see you guys
Perfect.
August 5th.
August
Yeah,
5th.
we'll be there.
There.
Okay, guys. Take care.
See ya.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Dave.